Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great week so far. I want to invite you to today's short training in which I'm going to share 5 top secrets or practices. I wouldn't say secrets, practices that I'm performing every day or on a very regular basis in order to help me improve my performance. Is it at work? Is it in general to be more focused, to help me to really make sure I'm on top of my game? And I really want to share this with you. I want to encourage you to share your ideas, your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think? Have you been doing any of these that I'm going to share with you? What others have you been doing? So we're here again to learn from each other, to share our knowledge, and to really make sure to help each other and support each other on each of our paths to whatever we might perceive to be successful. All right. So the first thing that I really would love to emphasize on, it is morning routine. Now, you who have been following me for quite some time know that I'm a very big believer in morning routine. I really, really strongly believe that morning routine is very important, very, very essential for you to kind of prepare yourself for the day ahead. And I believe that how you start your day essentially kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. So for me, morning routine or morning time is extremely important. I would say that, every day I really ensure that I have that me time in the morning, right? So if I know that I'm going to need to wake up earlier than usually, I'm going to wake up then even a bit before so that I can really have this me time in order for me to really center myself, in order to kind of, agree with myself. What are my goals for the day going to be, or what am I planning to achieve, or how am I gonna make sure that this day is better than it was yesterday, and so this is very, very important time for myself. Now, you have probably heard me talking about the 5 a.m. club, about Robin Sharma many, many times. I have been following this routine that he talks about, that he suggests, and it really works really good for me. Now, I must say that I have not been really waking up at 5 a.m. for quite some time now, but I am waking up every day between 6 and 7. And this is something I've been, it has really become my routine. I normally wake up at that time without the alarm anymore as well, right? Which is not very helpful during the weekend, because this is when I would really like to sleep a bit longer, but well, our internal clock is kind of stronger than that. So basically what Robin Sharma is talking about in this 5 a.m. club, and I would really encourage you to read the book if you haven't. It's a great, great, great book. Probably one of top 3 best books I've read last year. So basically he's talking about so that the first 1 hour of your day should be split in kind of 3 segments of 20 minutes. First 20 minutes you should exercise, second 20 minutes you should journal, and third 20 minutes you should learn something new, right? Now, when it comes to exercising, that can be stretching, that can be whatever you like to do. Even 20 minutes is better than nothing, right? Especially if you do it every day, or many times per week. For sure you're going to see a lot of advantages, right? While we exercise, we produce these endorphins. I think they're called the hormones. Please forgive me if I said it wrong, but anyway, there are these hormones that we produce that really help us to be more satisfied, more happy, more focused, and to have this good feeling about yourself, right? When we do a physical work. In terms of journaling, I like to write down really whatever comes to my mind at that point, from reflecting on yesterday to planning for today, to talking about what makes me happy, what makes me sad, what makes me excited, what makes me scared, whatever. Really, it's about, the point here is for me to kind of put out my thoughts on a piece of paper or in my notebook, right? And to really kind of distance myself from what is going on in my head, and to be able to view whatever is going on from a different perspective. So that's really the point of that. And more you do it, more you start learning about yourself, more you're getting to know yourself, more can you notice different patterns, right? So it's really, really a great exercise that I would highly encourage you to do if you haven't been doing it yet. And again, right, like like everything else, it takes time to see benefits, right? You cannot expect from yourself to do journaling for 3 times and then like, well, you know, this is not working, this is not fun or whatever. Also, if you have nothing to write about, there is always something to write about, right? You can always challenge yourself about it. On the side note, and talking about this, I've prepared, or I have that for quite some time already, like a worksheet basically with 40 more or less prompts with different questions that can be a great way for you to start journaling. So if you aren't sure where to start, what to write about, this would be a great resource for you. If you want to have it, please comment below or send me a message and I will send you that PDF document over to you. No downloading, no nothing hidden, right? I'm just going to literally send you the PDF. And then the third part, again, of this 1 hour, first hour in the day is learning something new, right? Challenging yourself to learn something new. Is it reading by reading a book? Is it by listening to a podcast? Is it by watching some kind of a video? Is it whatever it is, something that is really useful, beneficial, good, you know, something new that you're learning. So getting out of your comfort zone, that's also amazing. And just think about how 20 minutes every day of learning something new, right? That's a lot of minutes at the end of the week. And now a lot of minutes at the end of the month, a lot of minutes at the end of the year, and so on and so on, right? So it's really, really a great thing. We don't want to kind of go through days without having learned something new, okay? And what I wrote here is solitude plus silence. Now, why I wrote this here is because we're living in such a noisy world, right? There is so much going on at all the times around us. You might be actually one of those who cannot be in the silence, right? Like, for example, you always like to have your headphones, or you always like to have some kind of a, I don't know, video or podcast or a clip going on in the background, right? I would like to invite you and encourage you to really be in silence, right? Sit in silence, just, you know, not hearing any kind of noise, okay? Because from all this noise, what happens is that we stop hearing our own thoughts, all right? You have no time to really hear your own thoughts, hear your own self-talk, and become mindful of what is that you're kind of feeding your mind with in terms of your self-talk. The same goes with solitude, right? Be alone, be alone, just, right? Like, being alone doesn't mean that you don't love your partner, your family, your kid, your pet, whatever. It means just being alone. This is a very, very important also thing that we need for ourselves, just to kind of, just again, sit in the silence alone, right? It's a necessity. It's not, it doesn't mean again that you love someone or you don't love someone. It's just a necessity that we need as beings. Some people need it more, some people need it less. I personally enjoy being alone, obviously not a lot, but I like to have my alone time, and just do whatever really comes to my mind, something that brings me joy. It also helps me to boost my creativity. Again, it helps me to kind of be with myself and realize what is going on in my internal world, and then kind of tailor things depending on what I've found out. Okay, so this is the morning routine. The next thing here that really helps me, again, to boost my performance is super focused work. All right. Now, what does that mean? Firstly, I would like to point out the fact that you're working, if you are, right, working long hours all the time, that's definitely not sustainable, right? And what happens is that you cannot be fully focused for 16 hours every day for a long number of days. It just doesn't work, right? Like, and you know it, I know you know it. So what I would like to offer you here is to firstly start by working in intervals. What I mean by that is, right, like, so let's say you have a task to complete and you give yourself potentially a deadline that for the next, let's say, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, whatever, you're going to work on that task, which means no other distractions, nothing going on around you. You're fully focused on that one thing. Then you move to next one, and next one, etc. In between, right, these intervals, you want to consider taking a short break, going to the kitchen, having a glass of water, or just going for a short walk or whatever, just to kind of cut to kind of have a bit of a separation between moving to other tasks, right? It's going to help you to refresh your mind. It's going to help you to really go kind of clear. Okay, now I completed this. Now let me move to the next one, and so on, right? It's always kind of easier for our brains to comprehend whatever is going on when we kind of split it into smaller chunks, right? Like, for example, if you think, oh, I have to work 10 hours tomorrow, or if you think, okay, so first let's focus on first hour, then we focus on the next one, then we focus on the next one, right? To kind of split it in smaller chunks. All right. The next thing is breaks and diet. So breaks, what I mean by breaks is, I mean, really regular breaks, resting time, recharging time, daily, weekly, quarterly, right? So daily, you want to make sure that you have proper resting time. You want to make sure that weekly, you have at least 1 to 2 days completely off. You also want to make sure that quarterly, you maybe go for like a shorter trip, or you take a day or two off, right? You really want to make sure to be consistent with taking breaks. Breaks are a part of your high productivity. They're not separate, right? In order for you to be productive, you need to be taking regular breaks, all right? Be offline more often. Literally, just be offline more often. Don't scroll on your Facebook or Instagram, on LinkedIn or whatever. Be offline. Set a time for yourself that, let's say, after, for example, 7 p.m., you don't go online anymore. You're with your family, you're having a nice quality time together, you're talking, you're communicating, you're not on your phones, right? Think what works, experiment, talk to your loved ones, and find something that works really great for all of you, all right? Be mindful about what you feed your mind with, right? And this is something that I mentioned before. You want to make sure that while you are having these breaks, that you are really doing things that recharge you, that are recharging you, right? And not that you're on your break, then you go and check, let's say, your phone for news, then you read all the bad news and you are feeling even worse than before, right? So we want to make sure that when you are doing or taking breaks, that you are really making this beautiful quality me time with yourself, and that you're being kind to yourself, that you are really pampering yourself and doing nice things with yourself, right? And then when it comes to food, I put it here because it's really, really important, right? Food is our fuel. You want to make sure that you're eating healthy. You want to make sure that you're taking vitamins if you need, right? You want to make sure that you are drinking enough water. You want to make sure that you are not eating quick food, junk food, processed food. You want to really ensure that what you're putting in your body is really healthy fuel, because if you're working a lot, if you need to focus a lot, and so on, you also need to make sure that the fuel that is in your body is really helping you in order for you to be a great performer, okay? So I would really encourage you to be a bit more mindful again about what you eat. Okay, you can think about, for example, planning your meals, right? At the end of each week, for example, on Sunday, you can think, what do you want to eat next week? So you become a bit more intentional also when you go to do shopping, that you buy exact ingredients depending on what you want to cook, that you have fruits, that you have vegetables. And so it's really all this basically that I'm talking about here is a form of self-care and self-love, right? We are the most important and most precious that we have. And you heard me saying this many times, and I will continue saying it many times, because that is the fact, right? If you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of the world around you. All right? Be unavailable. And this is going basically hand in hand with being offline, saying no, right? More often, prioritizing, being very protective over your time and energy, okay? Being unavailable, just kind of disappearing from the face of the earth. Again, you're not doing these things because you are being, I don't know, arrogant, or you don't like people around you. You're doing these things because it's a necessity for you to be able to function well. You don't need to answer every message instantly. You don't need to have all possible notifications turned on your phone. You just don't need to, right? The world won't stop spinning if you answer an hour later to an email or to a message, or whatever, right? Set yourself the environment, right, around you, that it's serving you and not that you are kind of serving the environment, right? So for example, for me, concretely, when talking about my phone, I have basically all notifications turned off apart from an application that I use to communicate with my family and my closest friends. Everything else is turned off, which means that I decide when I'm going to log in on LinkedIn, when I'm going to log in on different, platforms that I'm using, and how much time I'm going to be spending there, rather than having my phone doing tring, 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 tring all the time during the day. It's such a distraction. It's such a distraction, right? So I want to invite you to try to do it yourself. Tell me what you think about that. I'm very curious because, we've become so, I would even dare to say, addictive of our phones and addictive of our technology. And I really believe that technology is great, amazing, nice, beneficial, etc. But as long as we are the ones in control and not the other way around, right? We cannot allow machines to take control over our life, right? I mean, I could not imagine that. Really. Maybe I am a bit old school, but for me, kind of social one-on-one and talking to a person, whatever, is so much more valuable and so much more amazing than scrolling and clicking like, don't like, and these kind of things. Social circle, be picky about who you surround yourself with, right? That's also very, very important. You have your kind of circle of friends, circle of family, and you want to make sure that these people are really great people for you. An important thing here to remember is not everyone is for you just as much as you aren't for everyone. And that's fine, right? You are going to find the right people for you, or you might even have them already. Whatever it is, like, make sure to build and cultivate those relationships and make sure that people around you are having a positive impact on you just as much as you have a positive impact on them, right? So these people should be people that you feel comfortable with, that challenge you, that aren't always yes, 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 but they want to kind of hear your ideas behind certain maybe points that you're making, right? That people support you, that people love you. This is very, very important. And again, you don't need a big social circle. It's even if you have, let's say, 3 amazing friends, but friends that you really know you can always count on, they're so much more valuable than having 20 of them that nobody is around when you actually need them for. So think about your social circle. Think about how do these people make you feel. Think about what are the topics you normally have with these people, and how do those topics make both of you grow, develop, and become really better versions of yourself every day. So these are a couple that I've prepared for you today. Obviously, these are not only kind of practices, but the first top 5 that really came to me when I started preparing this training for you today. I would like to invite you to tell me what you think about this, to tell me what are some of your practices to add on these ones that I've mentioned here. And yeah, I thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking very soon with you again. Bye.